Okay, welcome to the last video for issue 13. Over here, let's quickly talk about stock options. Stock options or stock ownership is an ability to incentivize all of your employees at an organizational level. What you can do is you can allow them to buy a certain number of shares of stock at a specific price. So, for example, my brother works with a company called Zendesk, and this is one of the ways that they incentivize people. And so they say, if you're an employee, you can buy our stocks at a lower rate than would be offered in the stock market. So, for example, maybe the stock value right now is $40 a share. They can buy it for when they first join the organization, they can buy it for, let's say, $20 a share, or even $30 a share. And if right now it's $40, it might go up over time. So they hold on to those stocks, and it's a gamble, but they try to make money by playing the stock market over a long period of time. But the idea of how you're incentivizing people is you're saying a normal person out there would have to buy the stocks at this price. You're getting to buy it at a lower price, and this rate is getting locked in for you. So you have the right to buy only a certain number of shares of stock at a specified price, and it's usually lower than the price that's offered in the stock market. So traditionally, stock options are something that has been granted to usually only executives, so that is the top managers in an organization. However, some companies are trying to push eligibility for options further down. So some companies like Walmart, I believe, allow all of their employees that option. Not part-time employees, full-time employees. Okay, so employee stock ownership plan, or ESOP, is an arrangement in which organization distributes share of stock to all of its employees and then places that in a trust. This is actually the most common form of employee ownership. So again, if you're trying to make your people feel like they are not just working for the company, but they are part owners in the company, then you can say, you know what, we're going to distribute stocks to everyone. This is different than the first option, which said we're going to allow you to buy stocks at a certain lower price. That's your option, whether you want to buy it or not. In the second case, you're just being given stocks, right? But you can't just take the stock and run and then sell it whenever you want. You're being given stocks, but that stock is put almost like in a trust fund, like a savings, usually a retirement account. And it's locked in place for a really long time, and it grows over time such that when you retire or when you leave the organization, you can then take that money with you. So it is an incentive. It is a group-based incentive, organizational-based incentive. Makes you feel like an owner in the company, because your fate is very much, or the fate of your money rather, is very much tied to how the organization is doing, right? So you are very invested in working hard and making sure this organization is doing well, because if they do well, then you do well. Your bank account does well as well. So these are alternatives to, if you say a certain job, it is impossible to identify who's doing what, so I cannot individually incentivize them. So I have to use group or organizational based incentives. Then I give you some options for group and organizational based incentive. If you do really want to or have to use individual based incentive, remember there are other options besides merit pay. You can also just use bonuses, which disappear the second you stop working. So bonus is a year-to-year thing, and it does not get added to your base salary. And so, for example, if I made a 10% bonus and I was making $100,000, then I get $10,000, but I only get it for that year. It's not like the next year my salary becomes $110,000, which would have been the case with merit pay, right? So again, merit pay increases can also be used as long as you're very smart about how you use them, how you force managers to make sure that they are ranking only the top performers as having deserved merit pay, and not the bottom performers. Do not try and pass off a cost of living increase as merit pay, because that usually backfires. And understand that merit pay can only work if somebody really cares about that pay. So for example, if somebody's already making lots of money, giving them even more money is probably not going to incentivize them. So there are other ways to motivate people. Pay is not the only way to motivate people. And also, if pay is the way to motivate people, what level of pay? So if you set it too low, for example, then people will not be incentivized. So for incentive pays to work, it has to be something that people want, something they feel they can achieve, something they feel they are fairly being judged over in terms of performance management, and managers are not being biased. So those are the ways to fix merit pay. So hopefully that helps you understand this topic on whether merit pay is good or bad, has it lost its meaning or not. Thanks, guys.